What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Dead State. I'm happy to have you here today. It's always fun to entertain an audience and a group of viewers as we play the game. I like Dead State. Dead State Day gets me excited, and so I'm in a good mood. I woke up really late today, though. You ever have one of those days where it's like your day, it's not like a day off, but you got like stuff to get done, but you kind of have like a little bit of leeway, so you decide to just like clock out for a little bit, and you sleep a little bit later than you should. Exactly what happened. It's my cat's fault. That's what I'm going to blame it on. My alarm went off. My alarm definitely went off, but I was laying there, and the cat was all, like, cuddled up under my neck, and I was like, oh, that's kind of adorable. And then, like, right when I started to get up, she turned on the Rumbler, and then when she turns on the Rumbler, it basically, it's like a human suppression system. She knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. She knew I was about to get up, and so she turned on the Rumbler because she knew I wouldn't if she turned on the Rumbler. And there it is. I was like, oh, yeah, that's actually kind of nice. All right, if you keep purring, I'm going to stay right here, okay? And she was like, awesome. And that was what happened. And then I woke up, and I was like, oh, my God, I've got, like, videos to record, and there are things to do today, kitty. There are things to do, and you have just taken your best shot at ruining them. I don't know what if I should even bother to make any more of that leather armor, the upgraded leather armor. I mean, if we're going to have military-grade stuff, actually, I suppose it's a good idea to make 4 upgraded suits of riding leathers because they're really, really good for excursions where we're only going to be up against zombies. They are fantastic for zombie missions. So I'm thinking that a full suit of that so that we can move our gear around is probably a decent idea. I mean, how much heavier are the upgraded riding leathers? I think Vic is wearing them right now. How heavy are they? 18? So they're lightweight too. Like, they're reasonably lightweight anyways. I feel like we're probably not going to go back to the hospital, but I'll do all my re-equipping in just a second. Who else has... There's gotta be... We should have multiple suits, right? Where's our other suit of upgraded riding leathers? Like, we should have multiple... There it is. No, that's Wait, is that the one? Yeah, okay, so that's the one right there. So if we're only doing zombie excursions, I actually think we're in really, really good shape if we use the reinforced riding leathers. But if we're going up against cops or the military, absolutely, we all need to throw on these military vests. And if we don't have the military vest, we gotta throw on the ballistic vest because... without a vest on your chest, your guts get messed. It'll be bad. It will not be a good day for us. Let's go sleep for right now. It's time for a little nappy poo before we head back on out and, you know, enjoy a foray into the world. Or a 4B or a 5A, whatever. I don't know what you file this under. I'm not a tax accountant. I have no idea. Let's ride the bed. Okay, so we got 150 morale today. We got some fresh food. We brought in a little bit. I mean, we didn't bring back a ton with us. It was a good day for us, though. It was a good day. I think we can all agree that it went pretty well. We brought back, like... How much fuel did we bring back? We brought back... Where does it say how much fuel I brought back? It's got to say where I brought back fuel, right? Maybe I didn't bring back any. Was it too heavy? Were we not able to carry it? Or did it not stock it? This is weird. Well, things are looking pretty good right now. We have a lot of, like, real bonuses going on, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of things that are going towards... That's because it's under the bonuses. Right here, we got a couple people that are in a decent mood. We got people that are content. We've got people that are okay, and one ally who's infected. However, we've got enough for 2 months more of her being infected, although we should probably get on top of, like, manufacturing that. You run out to the yard after hearing the thunderous sound of motorcycles surround the school, and Davis is already waiting for you. They've got us surrounded. If they wanted to attack, they would have already done so. You should probably talk to them. Good luck. Hello, I'd like to enroll a few of my boys. Which one of you's the principal? Laugh, Sweaty Dave. Really, that's your nickname, Sweaty Dave? Are you just like unnaturally sweaty? Excuse me, sir, me and my boys are lost. Could you tell me how to get to the local sheriff's office? We just found out that our driver's licenses are expired. Can you imagine our shock? Yeah, expired. We don't want to break no laws, do we, boys? Nope, we don't want to do that. Now, wait a second, I just remembered something. There ain't no laws anymore. Well, that's good news. Well, not for anybody. We don't want any trouble. Who does? We want picnics and ponies and big fucking houses on big green hills. Me, I want a huge pair of tits on my bike. But not all of us get what we want. Someone's always got to lose for someone else to win. But if you play this game right, you might get to win in your life. Get to the point. I'll do it when I'm good and ready. Oh shit, you did it now. Shut up and let me talk. Now, why are we here? Booze, drugs, and pussy. Booze, drugs, and pussy. Right now, you could say that I'm looking for a specific pussy. A cunt that goes by the name of Regina. You wouldn't happen to be hiding her in there, are you? I don't know what the right option is right here. Obviously, they're going to know if we're bullshitting. Let's see. I'll probably go, she was here, but she left. That right. Ha. Well, here's the truth of the matter. I don't care. You see, me and my boys are going to be back in 3 days. When we get back, either you will have Regina for us or 100 rations worth of food and let's say 10 gallons of gas to cover the trip. Fuck you. You aren't getting anything from me. Oh, you're going to do it because if you don't play nice, the Coyotes will come and fuck you up. Now, won't that be fun? Boys, let's get the fuck out of here. The whole shelter might be at risk. We need to meet about this. I'll go let everybody know.
Nah, we're about to done deal this right now. This dude's dead.
Dude, we have like military armor and like more rounds than we could ever use. Like obviously somebody will probably get clipped. It might happen, but it's not my problem. You alright? You look tired. I'm fine. The burden of leadership, huh? Well, you don't have to expect it from me. I know what it's like, having people whining at you all day. Hey, why don't I go wrangle a cup of coffee for you? It's the least I can do. Hey, listen, about the cops in Coleman. I'm sorry that didn't work out. Sons of bitches are an embarrassment to the badge, and to me. Well, you don't meet people like that out here anyhow. Let's not get carried away. For what it's worth, I appreciate the assistance. Real shame about Coleman. The meeting we're about to discuss is the outside threat that has presented itself. This morning, Marshall Streeter, the leader of the Coyotes gang, came to our front gate. From what I've gathered about them, they're one of the most notorious motorcycle gangs in Texas, and their numbers and firepower are superior to ours. They have demanded that we hand over Regina to them and they will leave us alone. That's bullshit. Please, you'll have your turn to speak. Everyone here will be affected by the outcome, whether it's the loss of supplies or taking a hostile action against the Coyotes. Any suggestions? Listen, I've been a cop in this state for a good long time, and as far back as I remember, the Coyotes have always been the kind of gang that even the cops have stayed the hell away from. They don't give a shit about anybody, and they've been running the kind of firepower that'll chew us the hell up. Want my advice? Give them what they want and hope someone else kills them before they can come back to you. But if you decide to fight them and you got a plan that'll put them in the ground for good, I will back you. I've seen this behavior before. The head of the Coyotes, he's nothing but a warlord. Give him what he wants and he'll keep shaking you down until you refuse, and then he'll kill us. Nope, we need to bring the fight to them. I'm not saying we're not going to lose anybody, but I am willing to put my own life on the line if that's what it takes. They're used to cops and cartels. Well, I'll show them how a motherfucking United States Ranger does things. You want to know what you're in for? Well, I'll tell you. I used to run the Coyotes with my old man, NZ. We were trying to lay low, loot what we needed, and keep our own alive, but Marshall, that bastard had other plans. He killed NZ, got right up in his face and stabbed him in the gut. I had no choice but to run here. Yeah, we knew about you, and that should make you fucking terrified. Marshall Streeter, this world is his fucking playground now. He's taking anything that he wants. He called in the backup, the other charters, affiliates, friends. We did it to protect our own. The Coyotes, it's a small army now, and they're all too afraid of Marshall to challenge him. But he gets taken out, that organization scatters. There's no reasoning with Marshall. You give me to him and he'll kill me. Eventually, then he'll come back, and the second you stop giving him what he wants, he's gonna knife fuck the lot of you. But I know where he is, and I know how to stop him. Oh yeah, you're damn right that you need me, so let's load some fucking guns and give that sick son of a bitch a new dickhole. If I may. I know that the many here favor violence, but I've worked with prisoners. I know that there's good and reason in them, and I think that with a little discussion we can come to an understanding that could even lead to cooperation between our two groups. Dude, you're dreaming right now. So I vote we open up negotiations with the Coyotes and see where it leads. But if you feel strongly that it's not the prudent course of action, I will defer to your experience and make sure everyone knows you have my support. Seems like we need to make a decision as a group. How are we going to respond to the Coyotes? We're gonna find them and we're gonna kill Marshall Streeter. Nobody comes to my house and threatens me like that. Absolutely not. The second you come in this shelter, you're kinfolk, and that's it. We all stand up for each other. We don't sell anybody out. We don't give anybody away. We ride on this dude. This guy better start sending some prayers up to Jesus or something, because it's gonna be biblical up in here. It's gonna get real ugly when we come up on his base. I got nothing to say. The proposal is to ignore the demands of the Coyotes and try to kill Marshall Streeter in the hopes that the Coyotes will fall apart. Is this your final decision? Yeah, it's my final decision. Hell yeah. The decision is to effectively go to war with the Coyotes and try to stop them by killing their leader or forcing them to cease aggression towards us. It seems risky, but if we're doing it, I got your back. This is not an easy decision, I know, but it's a brave one and a good call. I'm already starting to like this place. Can't wait to show Marshall his own balls. I don't think violence is the answer, but I have faith that you're making the right decision. This will conclude our meeting. We should adjourn and focus on the task in front of us. Okay, and so a number of people agree. People said they respect my decision, so that's actually the kind of like cooperation that I like. Wow, everybody was down for this decision. Everybody was down to ride on this one. Oh, I'm so proud of our shelter right now. I was worried everybody's gonna be like, just give them what they want. Oh, we got a bunch of riders in this shelter. I like that. I like that a lot because that's the camp that I'd be in. I'm like, I'm not a violent individual, but you don't come to my house and like sit demands on my front porch when I've got like a reinforced wall, like guard towers, like sniper rifles and all kinds of stuff. You may be playing outside your league right now. I'm not gonna say that I'm Kasparov, but you're definitely not the machine. That's all that's how I'm gonna put this right now. We've dealt with the Coyotes before, and we could deal with the Coyotes again. And that's like for real. I don't actually think they're going to be able to bring that much to bear against us. I think the situation is going to be such that we should be able to overwhelm them pretty easily with superior firepower. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't have foreknowledge about these sorts of things. But this just comes from like, I don't know. I have trouble taking biker gangs seriously. It's got to be the leather pants. Like I can't be threatened by a dude in chaps. It just doesn't. Like, come on, man, your outfit is it's missing multiple chunks right there, and they seem to be the most important parts, like the crotch and the ass. Those are the parts that I want covered, personally, in my outfit, but you're making the bold decision to leave that, like, wide open. Luckily, you threw some blue jeans on underneath that, but frankly, I don't know, man. I just don't know. It's very, very difficult to be threatened by a man in leather pants. I just don't think it works that way. I think we're going to go out, we're going to find these guys. I don't know where they are, but I'm assuming it's going to flag something up on the map for us where we can go find them. The Coyotes, by and large, don't have that great of gear, so I think we should be able to ride out on these guys with some kind of just, like, mediocre firepower. Like, I don't think I've seen anybody in their group with anything better than, like, a 357. It could happen. I'm not saying that it couldn't, but it could. If we're going to go to war, though, I think I'd rather do it the right way, so I may go back on that statement right there. I should probably recycle all these too, right? There we go. We got 9 parts right there. That's going to be nice for later on. We got the cigars, the chocolate, and the deodorant for the celebration afterward. I'm excited about this. We're about to deal with these assholes. I'm pretty excited. Let's see here. So let's get our loadout ready. I like the hunting rifles. The hunting rifles are a decent plan. So let's bring hunting rifles on this one because I feel like it's a good... It's a middle ground. We're not bringing full-on assault weapons, but we're bringing something that can definitely punch through that armor. Something that can cause some serious, serious harm if we want it to. And so let's go to our ammo. I like this right now. This is kind of like the beginning of like the movie where everybody's like locking and loading. You got like the awesome music in the background, and it's showing like footsteps walking down hallways. Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. It's probably not. Somebody's probably going to die, would be my guess. We honestly don't need that many bullets. I think we could probably bring like 12 per. Maybe a little bit. Let's bring everything that we've got for right now. Let's try and split the stack for the time being. We'll give everybody enough to where they can reload over and over and over again if we need to. In terms of melee weapons, let's go ahead and bring out the bats because we want to have the extra knockback. Just in case, we want the aluminum bats because they have a higher chance to knock back. Actually, if we're going up against humans, the better plan here is more than likely, it might be a good plan to bring the bows though too. It might be a better plan to bring bows because they won't have any resistance to that. Even if they have bullet vests, which they might, the bows might be the better play here. I think the game might try to throw us a curveball. I don't know. The shotguns might be perfectly fine. Let's go scout. We'll reconnoiter first. We'll reconnoiter first with lighter weaponry. And if that turns out to be enough to deal with them, then that's what we'll do. But I'm not going to roll in strap hard for bear just right now. Because obviously we'll probably have the ability to extract ourselves from the situation up front if need be. I don't think it's going to trap us inside the zone like it did. We'll have Paul bring his stuff just in case. We'll have him bring the bow, but we'll bring a shotgun as well. Just in case. So that should be good enough. The bow will provide the backup fire that we need just in case they do have armor. If they don't have armor, the shotgun and the bow will make very, very quick work of them. Regina, I don't know what your skills are looking like right now. But let's say that just for a second we drop some of this off. Let's consider getting rid of the shield for a minute. I think the shield is providing her with a lot, and I mean a lot of resistance. I think the buckler is anyways. Where's the buckler at? Is it under armor? Where's that buckler at? So it's giving her 5, 5, and 4 defense. So yeah, it's helping out a little bit. But by and large, well, she's already got the Bowie knife. Let's keep the shield on her just in case. Just in case. We got ballistic taken care of, and I'd like to keep an eye on our other stats. If we can wipe these guys out, it's going to be real. I think we're going to be solving some problems for ourselves. I'm going to get rid of that scrap right there, too, so we can turn it into parts. Anything else is sitting around? I think we're good, though. I'm not going to get pushed around by bikers. It's just simply not going to happen. At the end of the day, it's like kind of a self-respect issue. Like, you can't... So, let's say that you let this slide.
Let's say that you just let this slide. You make like a playground and let it slide. What happens next time? With people like this, so if you grew up around bullies, you know what I mean. You let people get away with this kind of stuff, they're just going to keep coming back. It's like if you give a moose a muffin, you know, give a mouse a cookie or whatever. I refuse to be the distributor of muffins and or cookies in this situation. The only thing we're going to be distributing is lead, because you can't let people like this walk all over you. Otherwise, they're just going to keep on coming back, and it's going to be a never-ending issue. You got to stand up for yourself. So in the mechanic, we can make... Oh, we got relaxation. Okay, so I need people to build. No, I don't want people doing any of that stuff. Help out with the mushroom patch for a little bit, I guess. Actually, the reinforced fence might not be a terrible plan right now. Let's reinforce the fence. We know that there's people coming out here to mess with us right now. And I think throwing a lot of people on the fence duty. If we can get it under 72 hours, that means the fence will be ready to go before they come after us. I'll leave the mushroom patch running, obviously. That's fine. But... for now, Karen Landy will give her reinforced fence. Nathan Harris will give them like 96%. Got that right there. Come on, get us down to 60. There we go. So 72 hours. 69 hours is what it's going to take to get that done, Giggity. But that's fine with me. Totally fine with me. Got a number of people in here with no job. I think I should probably throw them on the fence. I'd like to have it done sooner rather than later if we can make it happen. So yeah. Right there, that's exactly what I'm looking for. We're going to have the reinforced fence and the mushroom patch done in 2 days, and that's going to be the stuff right there. We'll be ready to ride. So let's go find these guys. Let's go take the fight to these assholes. I'm actually prepared for this. This was one of those things that I was hoping would come down the pipe. I never hope for violence and war in this situation, but hey, if they come barking up this tree, you best believe this squirrel's not going to hide and bark. This squirrel's going to come down and bite. Where are these guys at? So in finding these guys... did somebody actually, like, light us up for where they're going to be? Because I don't think anybody brought it up. I mean, I can pan through right now, and we could try and see if anything comes across here. That's assuming that it's labeled something obvious to, like, you know, blah, 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 hideout. I mean, it might not be labeled anything like that. I think the new locations typically have this yellow stuff around them, right? Wait, didn't we already go to the Bargain Owl supermarket? Thought we hit that already. That's weird. Okay, so do we know where these guys are at? Or do I have to talk to somebody about... Hold on. Let's go back before I start the clock running, because once we start the clock running, it locks in everybody's commands. What I want for right now is we need to know where they're at. So where are they? Let's talk to Regina real fast and see if maybe they can tell us where... So what can you tell me about the Coyotes? Besides what we already discussed, all you need to know is that as long as Marshall is in charge, pretty much as anyone who's not a Coyote is going to end up dead or worse. And next to them, those dead people are pretty good company. Let's see. Anything we can offer them? Like asking a shark to stop at the elbow, so no. Alright, well. Let's see here. Do you see anything that would help us out? If there were easy targets, the Coyotes or somebody else already got to it. We sent a few scouts out. The closer they got to the cities, the worse it was. Fires, clogged roads, looted stores, lots of dead. So even the Coyotes are scared to go into the city? Scared? Fuck no. Tactically, it's just fucking stupid. The dead I can handle, but if there's anybody alive in those buildings, then I don't want to run into them. Those have got to be some tough sons of bitches. That would be my concern as well. Anybody that managed to live a month and a half after all this broke out is going to be somebody you seriously... probably don't want to run into, or if you do, at the bare minimum, they're going to take a piece out of you that's going to make it not worth it. I haven't been listening to the radio lately. I forgot about that. Well, I guess I'm still here. For how much longer, I don't know. Not trying to be a fatalist or anything. In fact, I think this might be the longest I've ever stuck with one activity. I don't think I've ever had this much focus since I was a kid. Speaking of being a kid, I was listening to my MP3s yesterday, and I don't remember adding this song, but it really was this cheesy song from 1981, and it made me remember this moment where I was sitting in the back of my mom's car, and she was driving somewhere, probably running errands. It was warm, and she had this light rock station on that just played some of the worst pop of the time. I think this was the day when I realized I had better taste than her when it came to music, actually. But I digress. So I'm sitting there, and she's trying to sing along with this song, getting all the words wrong, and then I mentioned my mother is tone deaf. Such a weird thing to remember, but I could recall everything so vividly. A cheesy song playing, the words my mom butchered, the sun on my legs, the wind through the rolled window, the smell of faux leather seats, and the feeling that I didn't have a care in the world. And as horrible as that song was, I would listen to it 1,000, no, 1,000,000 times in a row if it meant feeling like that again. I want radio stations to play terrible music and jaunts to the grocery store on days where nothing is a viable decision. So here's a song from a much different time, and I hope it reminds you of simpler days too.
And that'd be getting depressing as you get further and further out. I'm like, alright, DJ, it's time to stop. We need to focus on a new world now. There's nothing we could do about the old one. It may come back, and if it does, absolutely, I'd be happy to rejoin it, but you gotta keep your nose to the grindstone in a world like this. That's really what it comes down to. Not that I would have any experience, by the way. Not that I would know, but all that I'm saying is that if you're locked in this situation, it's something you just gotta kind of come to terms with instead of fighting it all the way, I guess. The Lucky Rabbit Motel. Never seen that one. Let's go have a look. Maybe that's where they're hiding out at. Although that seems a little bit close to the shelter for early on in the game. If that was actually there in the early game, you could run into it and get yourself butchered if you're not careful. Either way, we need to find this Marshall guy. We need to handle him. He needs to get dealt with. Put his head on the, like, you know, back in the day, put his head on the bridge. Essentially, that's how you deal with people like this. There is no other conversation to have with this individual. It's him or us. Probably not going to think about that decision or languish on it for too long. Couple of parts right there that we got off that zombie. Another couple Zeds over here. I don't think this is where they're at. This is looking like it's going to be a Zed location, so while we're here, I mean, we can deal with it. It's not a big deal. We're just out here looting anyways, so it is what it is. But I don't know if they're going to tell me where this guy is at later on, or if it's going to come down the pipe. But I'm actually feeling I don't want to get attacked at our house. I want to take the fight to him. That's what he least expects. I want this all to end up on his front doorstep, essentially. Put him on the defensive. We've got that right there. He thinks that he's the wolf right now, but I want him to feel like he's the sheep. Essentially, that's my strategy. People that are very, very offensive and are always ready to take the fight to somebody else rarely have a defensive plan in action. And so if you strike back at them and you come out to like their front door and are just like, hey, what you doing right now? Chances are you're actually going to have a pretty good chance to deal some serious damage. This zombie over here is just going to like stagger his way over. Oh, there's a looter around here somewhere. Sounds like he's getting dealt with, though, so he's probably not going to be a long-term problem. He's probably going to be undead in just a moment. This guy's making a little bit of a shout from behind his little plastic mask, his little SARS mask or whatever it is. Let's go. I always call him SARS mask because when I was a kid, like that was like the big... I guess I wasn't a kid, actually. I guess that's the wrong word to use. I'll go ahead and katana him. It looks like he's dead set on fighting somebody else, though. He just kept on limping by. You left something right there, man. I'm like, oh, you hit my ketchup bottle. I've been armoring myself with ketchup lately. Just duct tape a whole bunch of ketchup bottles together. I'm not actually sure how terribly that would work, now that I'm thinking about it, because when ballistics hit fluid, they slow down real quick. I've always wondered if anybody's played around with the idea of a bullet vest. Like right now what they do is they create like this weave that essentially it strengthens. The higher the velocity of the bullet, it strengthens the weave. Like it's basically sensitive to being jerked. Like so if you jerk the material, it becomes stronger, and it just takes that to a whole new level by making sure that the jerk action is actually like a ballistic piece hitting the vest. So I've always wondered if anybody's played around with the idea of fluid insulated bullet vests, just because they've done it on Mythbusters and a few other things where when bullets hit fluid they slow down real quick. And so I'd be willing to bet there's probably a gelatin solution out there or something that somebody's fiddling with. It'll eventually be pretty cool. Then again, that dragon skin egg carton stuff seems to work pretty well too. Kind of a cool idea. I always wonder, how do you get into that? How do you get into working on like ballistics and ballistic vests? I assume you get an engineering degree, maybe like a material engineering degree, like a physics degree or something like that, and then you go work in the industry. I know a lot of physicists that ended up working for like Boeing and places like that, so I assume it's probably similar fields of employment. Although I suppose some people would give you shit for it because you're working in the arms industry. I guess some people would have like ethical concerns about you creating new killing objects. I don't know if I could work on creating new guns and stuff like that. Just ethically, because I don't want the things that I create to hurt people. Then again, I'm not so naive as to think that like guns and things like that are not necessary to protect ourselves either. So it's kind of like one of those weird things that you think about, and I don't think there really is a right decision right there. I mean, obviously, if you dedicate yourself to not like creating new firearms and things like that, you're putting yourself at the whims of the people that do develop those sorts of things, the people that do find those things to be valuable to develop. So kind of a weird thought. However, I've heard people give people like grief about creating like armored cars and like body armor and stuff like that. People saying that they're profiteering from grief and warfare. I'm like, well, they're creating defensive technologies. Like, I have no problem with that whatsoever. I mean, it doesn't feed in. Like, there's no reason somebody's not going to go to war because they have a bullet vest. There's still a pretty good chance you'll get clipped even with a vest. Like, I don't know. I never kind of like understood that mentality, I guess. Guilt tripping people for making defensive gear. Like, if you're making guns, like, I can see it from both ways. I mean, I think I'm probably in the camp that says that the guns are necessary, but on the opposite hand, like with the vests, I think I watched a documentary about that. There was this German guy who's like an arms dealer. He doesn't sell guns. He sells body armor and like armored vehicles and stuff like that to like PMCs and things of that nature, like mercenaries and stuff like that. And he said that he gets like all kinds of like complaints and picketing and stuff when he shows up places from people saying he's a war profiteer. I'm like, well, people need body armor, man. I don't know. I mean, if there's a demand, there should be a supply, right? I mean, that's economics in a nutshell. I mean, whether or not you provide it, they're going to get it from somebody. It's kind of like the drug market. Like, whether or not you provide it, they're going to get it from somewhere. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to justify anything right now. This kind of went in a weird direction. Now I feel strange about it. Moved from out. Oh, that was an accident. Didn't mean to do that. And he's not going to get there in time. Somebody's going to get bit. Either way, though, like, when you're in an environment where the product is going to get provided either way, it then calls into question whether it's unethical for people just to provide it, since the person's going to seek it out in either sense. And if they can't, they're going to brew it in a bathtub. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, interesting questions. I like questions like that, though. Questions that make people stop and pause for a second and be like, from an ethical standpoint, I'm not so sure. And you've actually got to, like, think about it for a little bit. You got to play with the strings. Drop that zombie right there. Pantsuit is out of the way. I'm just going to clear the periphery of this place. I don't like it when zombies, like, add in while I'm trying to loot. It bothers me. So, anyway, oh, we got a zombie right here. Shh, hit it! Hit it! Ah, that was a problem. I locked into a... Oh, we actually got the first turn. Okay, I didn't expect that. I didn't have to move right there. That was a mistake on my part. There we go. And so Paul indeed does have that one. I love Paul's AP pool. It is like the greatest thing ever. He's like, you said you like my pee pool. You like my pee pool. If you want, I can give you a steady supply of my pee pool. I'm just letting you know. Hey, I've got the supply if you've got the demand. Let's go ahead and beat this zombie to death. This one's almost dead, which is weird because we haven't been here like dealing damage to any of these things. However, if we can get rid of him, let's get rid of him. Ooh, that one took a lot of damage. That one right there took 80 damage and is still up. And then you're going to miss on the clutch hit right there. You're going to miss on the clutch hit. Come on now, amigo. Come on now. I need you to be on point with this stuff. Yeah, see? Look what just happened now because you missed that bat swing. I'm going to guilt trip you forever. I think I'll probably break the episode off right here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Dead State. I look forward to seeing you all in the future. Take care out there, everybody, and hi-do.